WrestleWrestling.com with the WWE Raw Wrestlers of the Week for the May 16th episode of the program, and this show was, of course, just 6 days ahead of the Over the Limit pay-per-view coming up this Sunday. I'm going to start off with our number 3 Wrestler of the Week, and that's going to go to Kelly, who took part in a one-on-one match with the current Divas Champion, Brie Bella, and this match was a non-title match. However, Kelly was still able to put up a pretty solid fight despite the motivation of going for the title. And she went ahead and finished Brie Bella off in the end with the roll-up after putting up a few pretty impressive moves over the Divas Champion. And she scored the 3-count victory as a result. And even though she doesn't get the championship as a result of the win, perhaps this sets her up for a future championship match against who would be considered, at this point, because she holds the title, the top diva within the promotion. And one diva who probably takes offense to that remark would be Karma, who's gotten involved in most of the Diva matches going on both Raw and SmackDown since her debut at the last pay-per-view, and Karma once again got involved in this one after the bell. As the Bella twins were attacking Kelly, Karma came down to the ring and made her presence felt. She, of course, wasn't coming down to save Kelly, but as a result of the Bella twins not being too smart, after last week running away from Karma, they kind of went right into Karma and attacked her behind her back in this one. Karma dealt with them pretty handily, putting one down in the mat as the other ran away, so we weren't going to see any twin magic in this one. And after Karma did that, she turned her attention toward Kelly, who she essentially just lifted off the mat and just basically flung in the forehead. Not entirely sure what kind of damage was supposed to be done with that. However, we've just seen Karma playing mind games with Kelly over the past few weeks, so perhaps it was just to further drive that point home. So Kelly is pretty fearful of Karma, and perhaps there's a match between the two coming on somewhere down the line. But other than that, Kelly left the night pretty unscathed and with a pretty solid victory under her belt. So she comes in at the number 3 Wrestler of the Week as a result. Coming in at number 2, we have CM Punk, who essentially needs to rebuild the Nexus faction. That's basically lost a little bit of credibility over the last few weeks. There's a lot of thought behind the fact that maybe certain egos are separating a few of them, and perhaps they're not as strong as they once were. So CM Punk, the leader that he is looking to go ahead and basically instill some more confidence within his group, and looking to go ahead and instill the fear around the locker room that they are still just as formidable as they once were. And he took part in the opening match of the night against Kofi Kingston. And CM Punk was able to get the victory in this one. Toward the end of the match, he did manage to avoid a Trouble in Paradise from Kingston and looked to set up Kofi with the go to sleep. Kofi was able to squirm out of there and go ahead and get a near fall from a roll-up. But after CM Punk kicked out of that, Kofi tried to get a little bit more bold and attack CM Punk in the corner by leaping at him. But he just got tangled up in the turnbuckles when Punk moved out of the way. And Punk, as a result, was able to go ahead, lift him up, and hit the go to sleep for the 3-count victory. And then after the match, Punk went back up to the top of the stage where the rest of his faction was standing and just basically let everybody know that it's no more Mr. Nice Guy for him, and he's going to go ahead and do what he has to prove that Nexus is just as good as it once was. And he's going to have the ability to do that, taking a step forward by teaming up with the powerhouse of the group, Mason Ryan, as the two of them go up against the Big Show and Kane, with the Tag Team Championships on the line at the Over the Limit pay-per-view. And sort of in preview of that match, Kane and the Big Show went up against the other Nexus members, Michael McGillicuddy and David Otunga, in non-title action. And as a result of Mason Ryan and CM Punk getting involved in this one, the Nexus faction was able to go ahead and get the victory in that as well. So CM Punk proving that he's still a pretty good leader, going ahead and getting his singles victory, and helping the rest of his group go ahead and get the tag team victory against the opponents they will be facing at Over the Limit. And coming in at our number 1 Wrestler of the Week is John Cena, who's going to put the WWE Championship on the line against The Miz this upcoming Sunday at Over the Limit in an I Quit match. And those two basically had some words said at the beginning of the program this week. Mainly it was Alex Riley speaking on the part of The Miz. However, Riley and Miz were still able to jaw a little bit with Cena. And after they all pretty much got their say in this one, the anonymous Raw General Manager chimed in and decided to go ahead and give The Miz the opportunity to state a stipulation and opponent for Cena on this evening's Raw. As a result of Cena basically having the say in choosing their stipulation for Over the Limit, and The Miz held the cards on that one all the way till the main event. He wouldn't let Cena in on who his opponent or the stipulation would be for this one. And at the end of the night, it turned out that The Miz decided to put Cena in a no-holds-barred match against Jack Swagger. Swagger put up a good fight. Of course, he is a pretty formidable guy on the Raw roster. However, Cena was able to finish him off with his moveset and everything, hitting the Attitude Adjustment and then the STF for the submission victory. And after the match, Miz tried to intimidate Cena a little bit by going ahead and saying what he was going to do to him in their I Quit match. They had a lot up his sleeve, but Cena wasn't buying any of it. And when Miz and Riley tried to attack him with the lead pipe that they pulled from under the ring, Cena fought against them and managed to overcome them. And then in a pretty aggressive tone, go ahead and tell the Miz that he could bring whatever he wants with him into their I Quit match. He was still going to go ahead and put a hurting on him until he said I quit. So Cena coming out pretty aggressive in this one, once again instilling the fear into Miz and not buying anything that Miz throws at him. So Cena coming in at the #1 wrestler of the week. Again, just to recap, we have at number 3 Kelly Kelly, number 2 we have CM Punk, and at number 1 the WWE Championship, John Cena, for our May 16th WWE Raw Wrestlers of the Week. Once again, this has been Neil Borenstein for OneWrestling.com.